So a couple of days ago, I was having a workout at my gym, which is the place that I often use to speak to people, right? This is the place where I've spoken to so many strangers, have made so many great friends there. It's overall my favorite place to socialize, right? But I remember I was doing an exercise. I think it was barbell shrugs, right? You know that. And yeah, I was about to start another set. And that's when a friend of mine suddenly walked past me. Right now, this is a very good friend of mine. We started talking for a little bit. Turns out he wanted me to help him spot him on a bench PR, right? I think it was 90 or 95 kilograms. Pretty good, right? Way more than I can do. So after we're done with that, we talked for a little bit, and I was about to go back to my barbell because I wanted to do the set. That's when another friend of mine walks by. And I talked with him for a little bit. It's the exact same thing, right? We walk past each other. Yo, what's good? How you doing? We just talk, right? Another pretty good conversation, but trust me, the moment I stepped in front of the barbell, another person walks past me. I'm not even kidding. There were so many people at the gym that were friends of mine that I pretty much couldn't start any exercise, right? Because there was always somebody who wanted to talk to me. And at which point I was like, at one point, I was just like, okay, let me exercise, right? And that's when I started to think to myself, when the fuck did I go from being a small, almost introverted kid, right? I was terrified of talking to people back when I started high school. It's almost as if all of that charisma I used to have when I was a child, that feeling of when you didn't care about what people think. You remember back when you were a child and you could just talk to anybody and you wouldn't care in the slightest? I went from being very introverted because of high school to now having an amazing social life, right? And I've came to the conclusion that there was one trait in particular that really helped me develop this, okay? Trust me, shake on this, dude. If you're able to implement this into your life more often, your social skills will be 10 times better. People will genuinely like you more. You think I'm bullshitting and you have to tell the right to, I guess. I don't know, you've probably just met me, but trust me, this one trait in particular is gonna genuinely change the way you talk to people, right? So I'm not gonna waste your time, honestly. Let's just get straight into it. I'm gonna give you one example that I want you to analyze carefully so you can start to see the pattern of what I'm talking about, right? Imagine that I am a boss of some certain company, right? And I'm hiring you. I want you to be my employee. Now, here's the trick. Would you be more likely to work for me if I was this very cold boss with shows no emotion? I was just like a robot. No, fuck that. Of course you wouldn't want that, right? But if I was a genuine, open, kind, warm person, like I am right now, I genuinely don't give a fuck. I could talk about, I don't know, the socks I'm wearing right now, and it's perfect flow state. Yeah. Would you feel more comfortable talking to a person who's much nicer, much more smiley, much more extroverted? Or rather with a guy who's just cold all the time, with this negative mood, almost staring, not staring into your soul, because eye contact is good, but you get where I'm going with this, right? Some people are just so awkward. They just stand there like NPCs and they don't do anything about it, right? And I'm here to tell you the downright truth. It's not something difficult to implement. The difference of saying to somebody, hi, how are you doing? And for example, saying, yo, how are you doing, bro? It's been such a long time. The difference is massive. It's massive, right? And I know it looks a bit awkward when I'm speaking to a camera, right? And you're just watching me, but this mindset makes people like you 10 times more, right? Because when is it easier to speak to somebody? When they're just awkward as shit, or when they're actually warm, when they're actually engaged into conversation? It's all about the environment that you put out for the conversation. And I'm not talking about the environment in terms of physical stuff, right? I'm talking about the environment that you amplify onto the other person, the emotions you share, because the energy that you transfer from your body is the exact same energy people are going to reflect onto you. You know that feeling when the teacher starts to pressure you at school? Let's say you fail a test, right? oh, Jimmy, why the fuck did you fail the test? Oh, you stupid fucking idiot. Okay, the teacher will never say it that way, but you know how when the teacher gets like really mad at you, it's like pointing fingers, screaming at you almost, what are you gonna do? Of course you're gonna get like stressed a little bit. You're not gonna scream at the teacher, but you're not gonna reply calmly, right? It's not something you would do subconsciously. No, if somebody's putting stress onto you, guess what? You're gonna get pressure. You're gonna reply in the exact same manner, right? The exact same way happens with other emotions. If you see somebody who's sad, what are you gonna do? You're not gonna sit there and act a fucking clown, right? No, you're gonna try to cheer him up. You're gonna match his energy. You're not consciously aware that you're doing it. But this is normal social behavior, right? And when you're able to use this to your advantage, trust me, shit becomes 10 times easy, right? It's literally just the difference between, hey, how are you? And hi, how are you? It looks so stupid in front of a camera, right? I know it's hard to explain, but trust me, when you're able to apply this warm environment when you speak to people, you won't even realize how big of a difference it is. It's literally just a matter of smiling more, being more kind to people. Of course, don't be stupid with it, right? Don't make it look too obvious, right? Where you're literally walking around with this fake ass smile to people like, of course you look stupid, but let's be realistic here. This very, very small mindset change could actually make your social life a lot better. Because when people are able to feel comfortable when they're speaking to somebody, this restriction, this barrier of discomfort you had when you're talking to somebody new suddenly starts to break down. Slowly but surely, that barrier starts to really, really dial down, and there's far, far less restriction when you're talking between each other. In much simpler words, that just means that you're able to be yourself more often, right? Now, if you've been watching self-improvement, there are a lot of videos on, don't be yourself. That's not what I'm talking about, right? But when you are able to feel comfortable in a conversation, suddenly you don't have this restriction in your mind anymore. You can talk about whatever you want in this person, and that's what you want when you're with other people. Not necessarily to just fully open up about their life, no, but when you're able to make people relaxed, to make people feel comfortable when they're talking to you, that's a massive, massive difference, right? And the way you do that is very simple. Just be more kind, be more smiley, be more energetic. Not really energetic, but keep in mind what I said about energy. The type of energy you pass onto other people is the exact energy you're gonna get back, right? When you're gonna, okay, I feel like I'm repeating myself at this point, but I'm just gonna say it one more time so it drills into your mind, okay? When you come into people with this negative ass mood, oh my God, I had such a bad day. Would you want to talk to that kind of person? Respectfully, but that seems pretty annoying, right? I don't really have to go in depth into it, but yeah, you know what I'm talking about. If you enjoyed this video and you found something valuable, make sure to click all the buttons if you want to. Not give a fuck. For those who know, I'm working on something fucking giant behind the scenes. So if you want to know more about it, if you want to be a part of it, join the Discord server. You'll find much more about it if you talk to me. It's just the downright the best community on the internet, right? I'm gonna have to do a quick plug here because this is the type of server where we have people doing backflips on our weekly calls, whilst we still get to actually have a good time when we're learning stuff and, you know, we're still being productive. If you want a brotherhood like that, click the link. I'm not gonna waste any of your time anymore, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one, brothers. So keep working, brother, and take care.